Friday, and thank you for joining me. How have you been? I hope you had a wonderful week. This week, one of the things that struck me was I was watching this character on a series that I love, Riona, which means to see or prophecy, and I watch it with a group of my friends, and there's this character, a young girl called Chama, and when she's convicted about something, she jumps in and she runs with it. Sometimes she doesn't even stop to think about the consequences and whether it's the right action for her. And sometimes she gets into trouble, sometimes it works, and I was looking at her and thinking to myself that maybe we all need a little bit of that courage. We all need a little bit of that drive to sometimes just jump and make decisions, and live and go with the flow, because you never know what might happen. It might work, it might not work. But if you don't try, how will you know? So that little bit of courage, I think we all need it, to just jump. I hope you had an amazing week. I've had a busy week. I think I'm tired. Even though it's we got a holiday in today, we're going back on Monday. Today, this episode is going to come out on Friday. I recorded it earlier than that, but I wish the holiday was on Friday. But we're alive, so we give thanks to God. We bless Him for how far He's brought us and how amazing He's been. So let's get back into it. What are we going to talk about? So this week, I don't want to make it a long episode, but there's something that's really important that I want to talk about, and that is love bombing. What is love bombing? I don't know if I have an episode about it. Love bombing is usually when someone relentlessly comes at their partner with love in the initial stages of the relationship, like going overboard, immediately saying you are my soulmate, you are my partner for life, you are my this, you are my missing rib, like without even knowing the person, going overboard. I love you comes easily to them. They always know exactly what to say to make you fall in love with them. They approach relationship milestones at rushing you through. Come and meet my parents, come and meet my siblings, come and meet everyone, like you're the one. The compliments are endless. They act as if they are your savior. They give superficial affection, and then they tend to treat other people like crap, and they make you experience like emotional ups and downs, kind of making you, today they are real into you, then the next minute they are upset with you, So what are the signs that you're being love bombed? If something feels too personal too quickly early on in the relationship, it could be that you're being love bombed, or it could be that you found the one. So it's a red flag. So the best thing to do is to look at the red flag, examine it, and understand, so it doesn't get worse, right? That's not to say that everybody has bad intentions, but these are red flags. So of course, once they are, you've got to be cautious. So if one acts too needy and makes demands on your time, they want to know who you're with, they want you to pick up your phone immediately, they whine, why didn't you pick up my call? I called you twice, you didn't pick it. They whine, why are you spending time with your friends? I wanted you to come. Meanwhile, you had spent some time with them and had to go for another engagement. either with your friends that has been prearranged, and they want you to cut off all those ties so you are in their company 24/7. My darling, that's love bombing. If communication contains demands, like let them know where you are, who you are with, who you're talking to, what they're saying. They make it look like they care, but it's a way to keep tabs on you, If they refuse blame for failure in their past relationships and they come with a sob story, yes. And then they suddenly love everything about you. There's no mistake. Like there's nothing that upsets them about you. That's a red flag. And if their behavior, attitude, beliefs, humor, and the things that they do are not consistent, you know that they're a different person, right? And if it moves too fast, it will crash. Or it can crash. So if it's moving too fast, you gotta pull the brakes, see where this is going, and then kind of. So how do you tell the difference between someone who's loving? So you've been dating for a while, and then after maybe through 3 months, they get you a gift, right? It's a flower or chocolate, something very simple and warm and has meaning. Then, or they meet you immediately, they are buying you a car, they are getting you an apartment, they are buying the most expensive diamond in the world that costs more than your rent. Love bombing. Your car breaks down and they offer to give you a ride to and from work until it's built. It's fixed. Your car breaks down and they quickly go and buy you a new car. You're sick and they offer to go to the store and bring medication and whatever. And you are sick and they're moving to kind of come and take care of you and all of that. Very early on in the relationship, that's overstepping. Sometimes we don't tend to look at these things. For instance, I remember having a conversation with someone where they mentioned that somebody got them a ticket to come and visit them over the weekend, and they were like, why didn't you ask me first? The person just assumed that it was a nice gesture and she should be grateful. She was kind of upset about it, but she went anyway. Now, she said she got there, and the person said to her, oh, I like how you cook, so I would like... Inconsiderate. They didn't think that she was tired from the flying, and even if she arrived, you were taking her to the store to go and buy stuff and prepare for you. So they do the gesture and then they want something in return. But most of the time, we tend to view these gestures from the lenses of a romantic relationship, so we don't realize that it is indeed love bombing. And so we kind of run with it. So 6 reasons why people will love bomb you is to build themselves up. Abusers, whatever you call them. Some are narcissists, some are sociopaths, some are psychopaths, whatever you call them. Some have mental health disorders and all of that. At the end of the day, whatever it is that they are looking to achieve is to manipulate you. So they try to give an appearance of being the perfect boyfriend or girlfriend through excessive gifting and compliments and, doing over-the-top things because they've created a certain image that they want to fit into their narrative, and then they give it back to you. Right? Now, so the whole essence of it is to receive some adoration in return. And so the expectation is that as they are doing these things, you're, kind of urging them on, you're hyping them, you see them as the God that, mini God that they think they are, and you give that attention and compliments back. After some time, they're going to stop, right, giving you those compliments and attention back. But you don't even realize it because you are now getting used to also giving. And so whilst they stop and you continue to give, and then it becomes a thing, and then it becomes a demand, immediately something happens or you cannot, then it is a problem. Why have you become this way? Meanwhile, all that they did was early on in the relationship, and they do not lift a finger afterwards, right? They want to control you. Once someone flatters you with excessive compliments, over time the adoration disappears, and then they start to control how you act, how you behave, and they are trying to reshape you into who they want you to be. And they also do it to trap you. It's a way of, softening you or buttering you up so that they can exploit the person that you are. Because when you're in love and you're all warm and soft, your defenses are down, right? Your reflexes, you don't think that the person who's professing to love you has an ulterior motive, so you kind of relax. And then the whole point of them doing all this is to keep you in a relationship, right? So they will flatter you, they will love bomb you, and then after some time, it's so excessive. And when they feel like they've gotten you where they want you, they just stop. And then they kind of just expect it from you. Now, when you complain about why they've stopped love bombing you, then they start again, and then just trying to trap you into the relationship. They don't have boundaries, right? Once they are love bombing you and you are receiving all the attention, they feel that they have a say over who you invite into your life, who should be you should be talking to, everything. They ask uncomfortable questions. They try to start. They will ask you to tell them your biggest secret. They will ask you to they develop an intense interest in you. They want to know about your job, your friends. They start to make videos of me. They are kind of very indulgent. And the thing with love bombing is, it can even be with at work, an abuser at work. They take some interest in you and to use you as a flying monkey for their actions. A guru or a pastor who's trying to control his congregation, so they love bomb you, and they kind of figure out everything about you, and they are there for you in the smallest. After some time, they just discard you because they are done. So what happens is, while all this is happening, you feel like you're an angel from heaven. You can't stop thinking about the fact that you feel so special. They want to take you everywhere. They love you. But the reality is that they are addicted to you, and because they have a reward system, and it causes them to just want to do the things that they want you to do. So when all this is happening, all they want is attention. All they want is your love. All they want is to just kind of be in your space, and trying as much as possible to make you feel as though you owe them, right? They try as much as possible to make you feel as though you owe them. So that's the problem with love bombing. So they rush everything, intimacy, friendship, tell you, they mirror your dislikes, and meanwhile you find out that immediately those things are mirrored, is no longer a thing. They were just copying you so that it could be as though you were one. But then after some time, you realize that your interests are even not their interest anymore. They are just interested in acting like you are the one. So it is your reward for doing, it's basically your reward for doing what you're told. The reason why it stops is that, and the thing becomes abusive, is because now you realize that no, this is not normal, and you're setting boundaries, and then you are daring to enforce them. So that's when the cycle of abuse begins. Like, you're taking your space and your voice back. They don't understand why you should. So they drop in your life, but they're only around for times when they need something for you, be it physical, emotional, psychological. They give you the stage, they make you feel special, over the top compliments, rapid enmeshment with your values, ideas, beliefs, not really forming their own opinion about nothing. It's like they are parroting you, contacting you all the time, calling you even at inappropriate times, trying to get you to focus on them all the time, asking you to come on lavish trips or stay in their house even if they are not there, extremely early in the relationship, pushing all kinds of boundaries, time, sexual, personal space, in order to create a fear of abandonment and codependency on you, so that you feel like, oh, this really works, this is my person, and an overwhelming sense of, oh, they really want to be with me. Now, it's very covert, it's very wrapped in layers. It can be very, very, very difficult to spot sometimes. That's why I'm saying these red flags. And then sometimes they get frustrated, they can get angry, and they can be verbally, emotionally, psychologically abusive. And when this happens and they realize that they shot themselves in the foot, they come back even stronger, love bombing you, and trying to make you feel like you're really special, you're the one, and you shouldn't do that, to them. So it's a big deal, even though it's hard to spot sometimes, but it's always in your face because everything is wrapped up in romance. So if you do not take your time to sift through, think at it, look at it very well, you will just kind of pack all these things under, oh, they really care about me. But the signs are always there. The signs are always there. The signs are always there. And when you look at it, there's nothing romantic about love bombing. It's not a thing. But it becomes the thing when you don't know. So all the assumption is they really care about you. So the flattery and the attention and the gifts all make it seem as though it's love. But it's not love. That's why you have to be particular about the red flags. I've talked about them. They will idealize you. They will devalue you, and then they will discard you. And when that stage of discardment has happened and you're married, that's when the abuse gets, like over and over again, where an abuser can tell you something like, oh, do you know how many women want to marry me? Trying to get you into that mode of, got to fight back and shower him with more love so he realizes I'm the one. But when they realize you're at that point where you're like, okay, so you can go ahead and marry them, then, oh, really? You're no longer going to fight for my love? Oh, then you must be either seeing someone else or you're this or that. And then they come back at you with more punishment for daring to even say that. Eat your words, my darling. You're not that special after all. It annoys them. It annoys them. So the layers are there, so friendship will begin. I feel like friendship is what it is. Feel comfortable with each other, get to know each other, accept differences, and compromise, or leave the relationship if it's not working. Then you grow to love each other, you make commitments, And then love and acceptance deepens. You learn from each other's differences, and you feel supported and loved because you know the person has got you. Whilst on the other hand, the codependency, there's an intense attraction. You feel the anxiety, you idealize and you ignore the differences. You fall in love, you make commitments, you still get to know each other, you become disappointment, but you still cling onto that feeling of perfection that was there in the initial stages of the relationship as a result of the love bombing. And then you try to change that person to fit into your ideal partner. And then what happens is you feel resentful and unloved because it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Do you get it? So when the red flags are there, the red flags are there for a reason. It means stop. I think in one of the episodes I used the analogy of red means stop, yellow means get ready, green means go. So when the red flags are there, it means stop. Don't go. But love can be funny. Regardless of the red flags, we go. And what happens when you go? You get a crash. An accident happens. You can lose your life. You can lose your limb. You can lose your mind. You can be incapacitated. Anything could happen. So put that in the context of your relationship. What's going to happen when you ignore the red flags and you cross the red light and you go? Could be any one of these things, right? So, I think I did one episode already on love bombing, and this is just a follow-up. It's just my thoughts, and I just want you to know that when the signs are there, when you're not sure, take your time, go over it, ask questions, don't feel rushed. Let nobody rush you. Remember, let nobody rush you into accepting and labeling yourself. Be comfortable enough to say no if it's uncomfortable. Be comfortable enough to take your time and say no, I'm not ready if you're uncomfortable. And if the person genuinely has true deep feelings for you, they will respect the no. They will respect the hand of friendship that you still have. And then you can grow together and get to know each other better. And then when you feel that this time there's still another chance, you say it again. You try again. There's nothing wrong with it. Unless the person is clearly not making an effort to be friends with you. I believe strongly and you can't change my mind about friendship as the basis for a relationship. Genuine, pure friendship of support, when you can talk, laugh at each other, cry about things together, share your deepest and darkest secrets without judgment or fear of it ever being used against you or as a slap in your face. And when I mean secrets, I don't mean you've done something bad, but your own wounds and things from even growing up experiences that kind of give you triggers and affect you in a way. You can bare your soul to the person and know that they will help you to heal and grow, and they will understand certain actions that you take based on the person that you are. You get me? So the intention was not to do a long episode today, but it looks like it's going on and on. So I just want to say that don't get love bombed. Oh, been talking for 24 minutes. Wow, time flies by when you're having fun. But I just want you to look at the red flags and always remember a red flag means stop, okay? And when you don't stop, think about the consequences. That's not to say you're going to be dating people and seeing red flags and saying, I'm not doing it again. When you see a red flag, it's for you to stop, evaluate, look at the situation, and then make a decision. All right? So bear in mind also that patterns have to be created. So how consistent is the person in that behavior that you see as a red flag? The more consistent the person is, the more you know and realize that it's not for you. And bear in mind also that if they are not willing to change, in terms of when you have a discussion about them, about that particular red flag, my darling, they will not change when they have the ring. It's going to be what it is. So love bombing is excessive, fast, quick display of affection, love, emotions, gifts, compliments, whatever soulmate thing. You're the one early in a relationship. If it's too fast, it might crash. So let me leave you with that for today. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who listens, who shares, who sends me messages, who tells me that they look forward. I mean, people I don't know even tell people who share my podcast, and they go like, oh, isn't she going to post yet? I just want to say to all of you that I love you. I am extremely grateful for your time. The whole essence is for all of us to have great, wholesome and fulfilling relationships, because I think that we can. We just need to understand the premise on which it works. Relationships are great. Love is a thing. I'm such a romantic. I love love. I love seeing people love each other. I love loving people. And so if it's something, and the thing is, God is love. And if God is love, we need to talk about it. We need to do it the right way. We need to let people have tools so they can make commitments that are for life, and stay happy and true and raise wholesome children. Because when they see that example, they don't have to struggle to attain it. You say, for my non-tree speakers, when you are born on top of a hill or in a mountain, you don't struggle to grow tall, right? So that's basically to say that when you have a great foundation, building is easy. So I just want to say that have the right foundation for your relationship so that you can build strong, loving, long-term relationships which bring joy, peace, and happiness to the people that you choose as your spouses, so they can thrive and be at peace in whatever they do. Because no matter what you do, whoever you are with will impact on your journey in life. You can't be together and be living separate lives. You can't be together and not support each other. You can't be together and not be there for each other. When one person bears that burden, they obviously will get tired at the end of the day. You know what? This was meant to be a short episode, but I love when I get these randoms. And so I will say again, I love you. Thank you to everyone who's listening, who shares my podcast, who shouts me out, who shares it with people in their groups, who talks about it. You're a blessing to me, and I love you. Until we meet again next week, I want to say keep praying for me, keep sharing, keep reaching out, keep letting me know what you want me to talk about. Someone has asked me to talk about my skin and other things. I think I will be doing an episode once a week of just random things, and once a month, on one random things that I love and like. I love tea. I collect teapots. Look, I love so many random things, but I'll think about it, and then we can have an episode on things that I like. I am thinking of also going back to writing my blog. I think I should be writing a lot more because I have so many notes from my podcast that I could write many, many, many blogs with. So I think I'll get back to the blog writing as well, but let's see how that goes. So thank you once again. I'll catch you on the flip side. I love you and see you next week. Do remember to share. Bye.